This reading is for Pisces for the year 2022. This is just going to be sort of an overview of the energies coming in for you in this new year. And Happy New Year, by the way. So we'll be looking at relationship, we'll be looking at career, we'll be looking at what supports you. So let's go. So the energy that will be supporting Pisces this year has to do with reaching out for support and help from somebody who's already done what you want to do. Or someone who, let's say you're on a spiritual path, it's finding somebody who is a leader of that, or you're doing something and you find a mentor. This also is a healer. But the really important message about this and what is supporting Pisces this year is not going it alone, but going out and getting help from somebody who actually can really help you. I mean, this can be like a peer, but generally I feel like with the Hierophant, we're talking about someone who is like the crone, right? Who's been through it, who's got amazing sage advice. Another word for the Hierophant sometimes is the sage. So this is what will support you this year. You know, reach out and get support, help, mentoring. The energy that will be somewhat challenging this year is if you let your ego take control of a situation. And what I mean by that is oftentimes with this sort of energy, it's very much very self-centered energy, which is great. I mean, we all need to think about ourselves and care about ourselves, but oftentimes it's if you hold on to a point of view that you really could loosen up on for like a better outcome. This definitely, you don't want to give yourself away or anything, but as humans, sometimes we hold on to ego and it doesn't really help us. So this will be a challenge for some Pisces this year. Taking a bigger picture view, putting yourself in another person's shoes. Now, usually Pisces are really great at this. You know, you are the last sign. You've been through all the signs. You can really usually see everything from other people's points of view. But for some reason, this might be a challenge in 2022. So just be mindful of that. And in, let's see, relationship, the energy surrounding relationship this year, interesting, it is the second to last card in the deck, meaning that many of you are really taking again, like what I'm talking about, this bigger picture point of view. I call this like sort of the eagle eye view, meaning instead of staying like really tight into your situation, you sort of rise above it and look at it within the bigger picture. So when I put all these together this year, I think this is going to be definitely a learning year, right? And again, if you get into a situation in your love life where you're just feeling like you don't know how to change it, heal it, get out of it, heal yourself, do not be afraid to go find the sage. All right. And let's see, in terms of career, this is great. We have the Eight of Pentacles. For many of you, this is oftentimes called the adult student card. I call it sometimes front-loading the labor. It's when you are investing in learning something or becoming a master at something. You may even have to be paying for an education or interning or something like that. But when you get the skill set, this always leads to you having a skill set that you can count on later. And we all have to go through that. Now, usually it seems like we go through it, we go to school, we go to college, or we go and we start our profession when we're young. This oftentimes is for people who are older who want to go back and continue in a new field or education. But in general, for all ages, it just means a time period for learning. And then later on, because it's Pentacles, that will bring you money. All right, let's see what the general energies are. Ooh, dynamic. Wow, a lot of big energy right in the middle of this reading. Oh, nice. So, Pisces are starting out this year with the Tower. Don't be afraid. What it means is that a revelation may occur. I really do believe the last 2 years have been so dynamic and intense that it's really brought a lot of us to a new stage of self-understanding. That's what this is about. If you see these sort of lightning strikes right here, this is a truth that will set you free. It is sometimes not comfortable because usually what the Tower does is it gives you a revelation. It shows you a truth that you've been avoiding, and then you have to make changes, and people get afraid of change. But it's always for the better. It's always for growth and becoming more authentic. And this is together with the High Priestess, which also is a very deep card about, inner truth. I mean, the High Priestess gets almost all of her information from her own massive information bank, also known as intuition. So I feel that for many Pisces, this is going to be a really big transitional year. And for some of you, that is going to be in love because we have the Ace of Cups here. What this will mean is that, if you do go through a lot of changes, that changes your frequency. So sometimes you draw in a new kind of partner. This Ace of Cups oftentimes means a new relationship. Now, it can be love, but it can be just relationship in general. So if you've gone through a lot of changes lately, you may be starting to draw in a new kind of person. Like you might be forming a new tribe, right? You might be starting a new love relationship. This is usually such a positive card that even when it is upside down, it actually is pouring out its goodness over the other cards. It's that positive. It's like basically the only tarot card that is positive, whether it's upright or upside down, in the way that I read. So if let's say you have been having difficulties in a relationship, this will heal it. There's a lot of potential. There's still a road for healing if you want it in your relationship. So this is excellent. The other thing I'm really drawn to here is the outcome, right? The last card in your reading for the year is the last card in the deck. That is so auspicious, and it really does lend, energy and support to this idea of this being a really transitional year for many Pisces, right? Like, what comes after the World, the last card is the Fool, which is the first card, which is a totally new beginning. So many of you, if not in your whole life, right, are going to be hitting a threshold, at least in one aspect of your life. Like there's this sort of rumbling for change, right? Because as we go through life, we change. Like if we're normal humans, we grow, we shift, we oftentimes go in new directions, and don't be afraid of that. It's like what we do. It's what we're here for. And finally, when I look over here, the biggest message is this beautiful Son of Wands. This is it's tender new beginnings to something, but that have a lot of energy behind it. So many of you are going to be starting something new this year that you feel really passionate about. And that can honestly be anything. But the thing about it, whether this is a relationship, whether you get involved in a cause, whether you are starting a new project of some sort or job, it's very sensitive. So if you nurture this dream, this idea, this new thing, it will grow. If you don't listen to yourself and you don't nurture it and you don't respect it, it's going to die. The potential is here for a new path, a new aspect of your life to make it richer, but you've got to pay attention to it. Do not ignore it. So happy New Year's, Pisces. I hope you enjoyed this reading, and if you did, please subscribe. Right now I'm doing weekly vibe check-ins with the universe and through the cards. So check back next week. Okay, bye.